Hi everyone, welcome to topic 3. For topic 3, you're going to be focusing on reading chapter 4 in your textbook and some of chapter 6. The topic 3 quiz will be covering chapter 4 concepts, which is on supply and demand. I'll be providing some analysis on supply and demand when I review the PowerPoints. If you have any questions on the PowerPoints or any of the course concepts, just send me an email and let me know, as I'll look for your effort. So for this week, we're going to be looking at the role of markets. And the role of markets are determined by demand and supply. This is very important to evaluate because demand is evaluating buyers, where supply is evaluating sellers. And if we look at a demand schedule here, you notice that we look at coffee prices and we look at the amounts that people are actually wanting. You'll notice that when the price of coffee increases, individuals will demand less at each price. When individuals demand each or less at each price, this is called quantity demanded. So changes in quantity demanded are reflected in changes in price of the product. From a demand schedule, we can draw a demand curve, which is right here. This demand curve is reflective upon what is in this demand schedule. You'll notice the demand curve is downward sloping between price and quantity demanded. Now, factors that will cause the demand curve to shift are things that will cause the demand curve either to shift to the right or left. And there's about 4 to 5 main factors that we're going to focus on. The first one is number of buyers in a market. The more buyers that are present in a market, you'll notice that that could cause the demand curve to shift to the right. So an increase in the number of buyers, more people available to purchase the good or service, so the demand curve will increase. Another one of the shifters would be income. So there's 2 types of good we focus on: normal goods, inferior goods. Normal goods are going to be positive related. Think of just clothes, that kind of thing. Inferior goods are going to be inversely related. Think of generic goods. Other types of shifters are prices of related goods right here. When you look at prices of related goods, we're looking at substitutes and complements. And substitutes and complements can easily influence the prices that are being charged in the market. You have complementary goods. So think of peanut butter and jelly. You have substitute goods. Think of steak and chicken. But those 2 factors influence the price that's being charged in the market and the shift of the demand curve. Another factor that causes the demand curve to shift is taste. Taste influences the demand curve because if people like a product, they're going to be more willing to buy the product. However, if people don't like a product or they hear on the news that this product causes a certain disease, people will not consume the product. Another example is expectations. Expectations about future price changes. So if you expect the price of a good to increase next month, consumers are going to be more willing to buy the good today. So they don't have to pay for the higher increases in price. Now let's go over to the supply side. You'll notice with supply is dealing with the price of a product and the amount that is supplied at each price level. You'll notice as the price of a product increases, suppliers want to supply more in the market. And that's key. When suppliers want to sell more in the market, that's going to be the law of supply. Law of supply is a positive relationship between the price of a good and the quantity supplied. Now let's look at factors that will cause the supply curve to shift. There are about 4 factors that we're going to deal with. The first factor will cause the supply curve to decrease. So if there is higher input prices will cause the supply curve to decrease because we have to spend more money to buy the ingredients to supply the product. Given that we are spending more money, we can't supply as much at each level. Another supply curve factor would be technology. Increases in technology influence the supply curve and shift it to the right. Another example would be expectations. So if the supplier expects that the price of the good will double next month that they can receive, they're not going to want to supply as much now. They're going to want to supply more later. Now, when we bring supply and demand together, you'll notice that we're going to be looking at where buyers and sellers agree upon a price. And that price that they agree upon is called the equilibrium price and quantity that's available in the market. Now, equilibrium price and quantity is $3 is the price and 50 units is the quantity. This is where buyers and sellers agree upon the best price in the market. Now, when the price changes, let's say the price of a good in the market is $5. If the price of a good is $5, you'll notice that there is 10 units going to be supplied in the market. There's going to be 25 units that will be supplied in the market. Given that there's more supply than demand, there is going to be a surplus. And if there's a surplus in the market, prices will tend to decrease. However, if there's a shortage in the market, prices will tend to increase. So for example, if the price in the market's $1, but the equilibrium price was $3, so if the price is $1, you'll notice that equilibrium prices will increase. And given that the price of $1 will increase to $3. So those are just some of the course concepts that we're going to be focusing on. I'd like you to review some of these videos that you see down here as well. If you have any questions on these videos or any of the course concepts, please let me know. But I look forward to your effort this week.